Children, we discussed in previous class the concentration techniques of the solutions that are employed while expressing the amount of solute dissolved or the concentration of the entire binary solution. Thereafter, I taught vapor pressure and Raoult's law. Now, I am moving to colligative properties. There's a new topic for you. In this colligative properties, we have four important properties, and each property is linked with a numerical. First, let us see what are called colligative properties, the concept. Colligative properties refers to the number of particles present in the binary solution. Colligative properties depends on or refers to the number of particles present in in a binary solution, and these particles are present in the solute. So more the number of particles, more will be the quantity of the solute and more will be the concentration of the solution. So colligative properties refers to or depends on number of particles present in the binary solution. Number of particles of non-volatile solute, but not on its nature. So this is the concept. So as and when the properties, each property out of the four are taken, I am going to teach how the colligative property depends on the number of particles. And we have four colligative properties. All together, four colligative properties we have. They are: number one, relative lowering in vapor pressure. And second colligative property is elevation in boiling point. Third property, depression in freezing point. And the fourth property, that is osmotic pressure. So second property is elevation in boiling point. Third colligative property, depression in freezing point. And number four, osmotic pressure. These are the four properties, and these four properties depend on the number of solute particles in a binary solution, but not on the nature of the solute particles. That is why these properties are said to be colligative properties. Now let us see the importance of these colligative properties. First property is relative lowering in vapor pressure. In the case of each colligative property, out of four, if you take any colligative property, the importance is each colligative property is useful in calculating molecular weight or the non-volatile solute. Next is, sometimes solute particles in the binary solution, they undergo association. Sometimes they undergo dissociation. So when the solute particles undergo association, number of particles will come down in the binary solution. So colligative property changes. Likewise, when the solute particles undergo dissociation, means each solute particle becomes two particles, two still smaller particles. As a result, the number of particles in the binary solution will become more. So then also colligative property changes, because colligative property completely depends on the number of solute particles. So second importance is useful in calculating association and dissociation behavior of solute particles. So these refers to importance of colligative properties, or you can say applications of colligative properties. Next, after this, we have colligative properties like relative lowering in vapor pressure, elevation in boiling point, depression in freezing point, and osmotic pressure. Now let us see these one by one. First colligative property is osmotic. This will take relative lowering in vapor pressure. Relative lowering in vapor pressure. Lowering means decrease or difference. Vapor pressure. When can vapor pressure decreases? Right. Now let us see Raoult's law once again. If you recall Raoult's law, the vapor pressure of the solvent is equal to vapor pressure of the pure solvent. Vapor pressure of solvent means when non-volatile solute is dissolved in it, they are going to form the binary solution. Vapor pressure of pure solvent means when solute is not associated with the solvent, or when solute is not dissolved in the solvent. So that is what P0A, that is vapor pressure of pure solvent, indicates, multiplied by chi A. Chi stands for mole fraction. Chi A stands for mole fraction of the solvent. This is known to us according to Raoult's law. And we know chi A, that is mole fraction of solvent, is equal to 1 minus chi B. Because mole fraction of solute plus mole fraction of solvent is equal to unity. That is oneness, or equal to 1. So when this expression, that is equation 2, is substituted in equation number 1, we will get PA is equal to P0A multiplied by, in place of chi A, we will write 1 minus chi B. Let this be equation number 3. And this equation number 3 can also be written like this. PA is equal to P0A multiplied by 1. P0A multiplied by 1, P0A minus P naught A into chi B. Both are same equations, right? But here we multiply 1 with P naught A, and in place of P1, P naught A has come, and we multiply P naught A with chi B. So the product of P naught A, chi B, we got on the other side. Okay. Now in this equation, when P naught A is taken towards left hand side, then we get P naught A minus PA is equal to P naught A into chi B. Next I am going on rearranging the equation. Now towards right hand side we have product of P naught A and chi B. Now what I am going to do is I will take P naught A towards left hand side. Then I will get P naught A minus PA divided by P naught A is equal to chi B. Here P naught A minus PA refers to lowering in vapor pressure, because P naught A, that is vapor pressure of pure solvent, is greater than the vapor pressure of the solvent when it is associated with non-volatile solute. So this gives rise to lowering in vapor pressure. When this is taken with respect to P naught A denominator, then it is said to be relative lowering in vapor pressure, which is equal to chi B. This is important equation in solutions. Now recall the expression, that is chi B, mole fraction of the solute. This is equal to, this has come in mole fraction concept. This is equal to number of moles of solute divided by number of moles of solute plus number of moles of solvent. Right. Now NB means number of moles of solute, which is equal to the mass of the solute divided by molar mass of the solute. So mass of the solute, say MB, molar mass of the solute, say capital MB. Right. Next, this capital MB, let me write here. Yeah. Next, NB. Again, it is equal to small mb, that is mass of the non-volatile solute divided by molar mass of the non-volatile solute plus Na. Na stands for number of moles of solvent. That is equal to mass of the solvent Ma divided by molar mass of the solvent. This is the expression, that is type B. Let this be equation number 4. And here mass of solute divided by molar mass of solute plus mass of solvent divided by molar mass of the solvent is almost equal to, approximately, this is equal to mass of the solvent divided by molar mass of the solvent, because always solvent is there in large quantity when compared to solute. So this is almost equal to the ratio of Ma and capital Ma. Let this be equation number 5. When equation number 5 is substituted in 4, chi B is equal to MB small m B divided by capital M B divided by MA small m A divided by M capital M A. That will become denominator when it is taken. Let this be now equation number 6. When this equation number 6 is substituted in equation number 3, this equation. So, when equation number 6 is substituted in equation number 3, we get P naught A minus PA divided by P naught A is equal to chi B. Now that chi B is equal to MB into MA divided by capital M B multiplied by small m. This is the final equation. Let it be equation number 7. This shows the relationship between relative lowering in vapor pressure, which is equal to the mole fraction of the solute, that is chi B. Children, in this, according to the application, one of the applications of colligative properties is useful in finding out molecular weight of the non-volatile solute. Here, this Mb is nothing but molecular weight. So, when we want to calculate molecular weight, this will take towards left hand side. Right. Then the look of the equation changes and it can be written in this way. This is continuation of 7th equation. According to the application, when we need to calculate MV, small mb into capital MA divided by MA small m A multiplied by P naught A minus PA divided by P naught. This is the expression to calculate molecular weight of the solute. Right. So here we have many variables. So when these variables are known to us, the molecular weight we can calculate. So when a particular compound is given when its molar mass is known to us based upon its molecular composition, like urea, we can calculate its molar mass because its formula is known, that is NH2 twice CO. If it is glucose, that solute, non-volatile solute, C6H12O6, its molar mass is 180 grams. In the case of urea, it is 60 grams. So that is known to us. So P naught A, PA, right, and MB, small mb and small ma. If these are known to us, we can calculate molecular weight. So that's about relative lowering in vapor pressure. We will see one numerical so that this colligative property can be understood easily. Now let us see, children, one sample numerical wherein vapor pressure value is given at a particular temperature. So that numerical is like this. In the sample numerical, it's like this. At 298 Kelvin temperature, the vapor pressure of water is 23.75 millimeters of mercury. Calculate the vapor pressure at the same temperature over 5% urea solution. This is the numerical. How to work out this numerical? Let us see. This numerical is based on the expression that is relative lowering in vapor pressure is equal to chi p. That is mole fraction of the solute. So formula is this only. So I didn't remove the, sorry, I didn't wipe it off the formula. Now let us see the data given. Temperature is 298 Kelvin and we are not going to use this temperature anywhere in the numerical. Right. Vapor pressure of pure solvent, that is water is given at this temperature and at the same temperature urea is dissolved in the water. So at 298 Kelvin the vapor pressure of water is this much. Here water is pure solvent. Therefore P naught A, that is vapor pressure of pure solvent, is equal to 23.75 millimeters of mercury. So in this formula P naught A is known to us and PA is not known. Now three variables are there. Let us see those three variables. Here urea is solute and mass of the solute MB. Here MB is given mass of solute, that is mass of urea, you can say. Here urea is nothing but the substance that is given to us is 5 grams. 5% urea solution means 5 grams of urea dissolved in 95 grams of water. Here quantity of water can be expressed in terms of milliliters as well as grams. So mass of urea Mb is equal to 5 grams. Next, molar mass of urea. So here urea molecular composition is NH2CO NH2 or NH2 twice CO. So this is nothing but what is it? Capital Mb. Molar mass of urea, capital Mb, is equal to 60 grams. Right. Next. Yeah. Molar mass of solvent. Yes. Next is molar mass of solvent. That is Ma. Solvent here is water. So let me write directly water instead of solvent. Water, that is capital Ma, is equal to 18 grams. So this we get when atomic masses of 2 hydrogen atoms and 1 oxygen atom are clubbed. Now we are going to substitute these values. Right. So we know the expression P naught A minus PA divided by P naught A is equal to MB by MA multiplied by capital MA divided by MB. This is the expression. Now in this expression what is required to be taken towards left hand side? Let us see. If you substitute the values in this equation and in this formula, P naught A is 23.75 minus PA divided by again P naught A, 23.75 is equal to mass of the solute. Here solute is urea. So mass of solute is 5 grams multiplied by Ma, that is molar mass of water, 18 grams divided by small ma, that is mass of water, Ma, mass of solvent, that is not known to us. We'll write Ma multiplied by molar mass of the solute, that is 60 grams. Now if we calculate, in this formula Ma is mass of solvent, that is 5 grams. Mb mass of solute 5 grams. Molar mass of water 18 grams. Mb molar mass of urea, and then mass of solvent, that is 95 grams. Right. Now, what I am going to do is mass. Yeah. In this equation, we need to calculate PA, and this PA value you will get roughly, if you take PA towards left hand side, you will get 0. That is PA value. Continue here. That is vapor pressure of solvent where it is associated with the non-volatile solute. So you will get PA value P naught A minus PA. This value you will get 0.375 millimeters of mercury, and P naught A value is known to us, that is 23.75 millimeters of mercury minus Pa is equal to 0.375 millimeters of mercury. Right. Now, relative lowering in vapor pressure. In this colligative property, we want to calculate PA. Now, PA is equal to 23.75 minus 0.375. So, you get the answer, that is 23.75, 0.375. 7.3. So answer is 23.375 millimeters of mercury. So in this way you need to work out the numerical. This is one of the sample numericals, and many numericals are there in NCERT exercise. Please go through those numericals. Always in the board exam, only the NCERT questions will appear. So children, better do have the habit of working out the NCERT questions. So after this, we will move to the second colligative property. Second colligative property is elevation in boiling point. So here elevation means increase in boiling point. When is boiling point of a particular liquid substance enhanced or increased? Let us, if you take solvent, pure solvent, it has particular amount of vapor on its surface, and if we dissolve the non-volatile solute in that solvent, that non-volatile solute will bring down the vapor pressure of that solvent. Right, once the binary solution of that solvent and the solute is resulted. Now, if we want to boil that solution, again we have to increase the vapor pressure. Right. So again, to increase vapor pressure, again we need to give heat energy. Means finally we need to give more amount of heat energy to boil the binary solution. And here the amount of heat energy given is more when compared to the amount of heat energy required to boil only solvent. Because vapor pressure of solvent is high when compared to that of solution. Therefore, solvent boils first when compared to its solution, binary solution. Imagine children, this is 1 atm pressure, 1 atmospheric pressure, and we have a particular solvent, right? Now its vapor pressure is 0.7 atm. Imagine. If we add, this is in the case of solvent, right? Now, if we add solute to this solvent, we will get binary solution. So this is binary solution. Because of the addition of this non-volatile solute, the vapor pressure of the solution resulted will come down. It will be somewhere 0.4 atm. When the vapor pressure of solvent was 0.7 atm, it is very easy for it to reach 1 atm after accepting or gaining a particular amount of heat energy. But when the vapor pressure of that solvent comes down to 0.4 atm when non-volatile solute is dissolved in it, the solute should be non-volatile. As a result, vapor pressure will fall down to 0.4 atm. Again, we have to heat this binary solution so that its vapor pressure can reach 1 atm. For that purpose, we need to give huge amount of energy. In that way, the boiling point of the binary solution gets elevated or increased. So, boiling point can be defined in this way. Generally, up to class 10, the temperature at which the given liquid undergoes boiling is said to be boiling point. In that way, you might have defined, but here you need to define slightly in a different way. It is like this: the temperature at which vapor pressure of the solution matches with the atmospheric pressure is known as boiling temperature. So the temperature at which the vapor pressure of the solution matches means becomes equal to, matches with the atmospheric pressure. Is called boiling temperature or boiling point of the solution. So wherever the term solution comes in this chapter, it refers to binary solution. Please keep this point in your mind, because in your syllabus you have only binary solutions. So that's about the concept. Now let us see this colligative property in the form of graph. This can be asked for 1 mark. On x-axis, I will take temperature values. This will be on Kelvin scale, and on y-axis, I will take vapor pressure values. And in this graph, there is horizontal line that refers to the pressure which is equal to 1 atm. ATM stands for atmosphere. So this refers to the unit of the pressure. Now listen children, in the case of solvents, the temperature, in the case of solvent, this is the temperature where it is going to intersect the horizontal line as shown in the figure, right? And this is the temperature TA, or the solvent when it is in association with the solute. Right. Now the points where this P0A and PA intersected will be shown like this. A, this is say A, B, C, D. So here this point refers to the pressure or corresponding solvent which boils at T0, and this refers to the pressure value. Right, it boils at temperature TA, and the difference between these two temperatures is said to be elevation in boiling temperature, that is delta T, elevation in boiling point, delta TB. This is equal to TA, or you can write TA minus P0 A. Right, and here delta TB is said to be elevation in boiling point, delta TB, and this is directly proportionate to molality. When that proportionality mark is removed, you will get delta TB is equal to Kb into M. Let this be equation number 1. And here Kb is equal to cryoscopic constant. It is also known as elevation in boiling point constant. Elevation in boiling point constant or cryoscopic constant. And M stands for molality of the binary solution. So molality of the binary solution. Imagine if it is equal to 1, that is M is equal to 1. Let this be equation number 2. When equation number 2 is substituted in equation number 1, then we will get delta TB is equal to M. So when equation 2 is substituted in equation 1, then we will get delta TB is equal to Kb. So Kb is cryoscopic constant. So cryoscopic constant is equal to elevation in boiling point when molality of the binary solution is equal to unity. So that is the concept that can be asked for 1 mark. Once again, delta TB stands for elevation in boiling point. Kb stands for cryoscopic constant. So elevation in boiling point can be equal to cryoscopic constant, or cryoscopic constant can be defined as elevation in boiling point when molality of the given binary solution is equal to 1. So in that way it can be defined, and this can be asked for 1 mark. Now let us see one sample numerical on the second colligative property, that is elevation in boiling point. The numerical is the boiling point of pure water is the boiling point of pure water is 100 degrees centigrade. Calculate the boiling point of aqueous solution containing containing 0.5 grams of urea and 200 grams of water. This is the sample numerical based on elevation and boiling point. Here, in the sample numerical, we are going to use the expression that is delta TB, that is elevation in boiling point, is equal to Kb into M. This is known to us, this formula. But molarity is equal to number of moles of solute dissolved in 1 kg of the solvent. So solvent WA, if it is in grams, then numerator should be 1000, right? And here NB is nothing but the mass of the solute, given mass of the solute, divided by molar mass of the solute multiplied by WA, which is given in grams, right? And the numerator 1000. This is in the case of molarity. This is in the case of elevation and boiling point. So when equation number 2 is substituted in equation number 1, we will get delta TB is equal to Kb into Mb, and that I will write in this way, Kb into M. M is Mb by capital Mb into WA, right, into 1000. This is the formula required. If you can memorize this formula, remember this formula directly, you can write. These two formulas you need not write. Now, the values given in this sample numerical can be substituted in this way. Here, delta TB is elevation and boiling point. That is, the boiling point of pure water is 100 degree centigrade. Aqueous solution containing half gram of urea. So in this expression, Kb value for water is 0.52. This is constant value. 0.52 Kelvin kg per mole is what you need to remember. This is in the case of water, 0.52 Kelvin kg per mole. This is constant value. So Kb value is known, and mass of the solute, that is 0.5 grams of urea. 0.5 multiplied by 1000 divided by molar mass of solute. That is molar mass of solute, that is urea, is 60 grams. Here if you put all atomic masses, we will get molar mass, that is 60 into WA value, that is weight of solvent, that is 200 grams. It is given. Right. Now we need to substitute here all the values in this formula. Once we substitute, we will get this approximately 0.02 degrees centigrade. Approximately you are going to get this answer. Now you are asked to calculate the boiling point of pure water is given, and you are asked to calculate boiling point of aqueous solution containing urea. Means to that water, when urea is added, boiling point increases, that is elevated, delta TB. How much? 0.02 degrees centigrade. That much temperature is elevated when half gram of urea is added. Therefore, boiling point of water here it is given 100 degrees centigrade. On Kelvin scale it is equal to 373 Kelvin. Now delta TB, that is elevation in boiling point. Elevated boiling temperature is 0.02 degree centigrade. Therefore, when that solute is added, right, the boiling point of water increases. That elevated temperature is equal to 373.02 Kelvin unit. Elevated means increased. Increased from the normal boiling point, that is 373 Kelvin. That increase is equal to 0.2. So when we add it to the normal boiling point of water, we will get elevated boiling temperature of the binary solution wherein urea is dissolved in water. Thank you, children.